What's going on, guys? This is SG1 Sports, and it's time for the college football playoff eliminator. After week 3 of the college football season, we've added several more teams to the list this week as we start narrowing it down and getting rid of teams every single week. On our way to the college football playoffs, we've got our top contenders coming up first, and I don't think there was any change at all from last week. We've still got these teams all as our top contenders. All of these teams still undefeated. Actually, no, I messed up here. LSU should not be on this list. LSU with that loss. So scratch LSU off this list. Again, I apologize for that. But everyone else here is still undefeated. I just overlooked LSU on this list. But all these other teams are looking good so far. So that's, 10 teams that would be on this list after you got rid of LSU. Here are the teams that are looking good. These teams also are all undefeated. I don't really see any of these teams having a real shot at doing this, but you never know. TCU undefeated. Miami's only played one game. Virginia Tech is looking good. Iowa and Michigan State are looking good in the Big Ten. Mississippi State with that big win over LSU. Utah and Colorado looking good. Oregon looking really good. Oregon's starting to maybe creep on up into that top contenders category if they continue to play the way that they've been playing. Washington State, they are undefeated as well after a win over Oregon State. So those are all teams that are still undefeated and still looking good. How about our one-loss teams? Auburn, Florida, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, NC State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, South Carolina, Texas, West Virginia, Tennessee, and UCLA. And I screwed up again. I apologize. Texas should not be on this list. Texas should actually be eliminated. Somehow I made 2 mistakes there. LSU should be here on the one loss instead of the top contenders. Texas should be eliminated. Again, I just screwed up there and somehow overlooked Texas and LSU when I was doing this. That's what happens sometimes when you use your list from the week before instead of just starting from scratch, which is what I probably should have done. All right, so let's go to the sleepers. These teams still undefeated, but really don't think they have any chance of actually getting to the playoffs, but maybe, just maybe, you never know. Maryland undefeated, Duke, Wake Forest, Texas Tech, a pretty good win over Arizona State this past weekend. Kentucky and Vanderbilt looking good in the SEC. Could we potentially see Kentucky or Vanderbilt win the SEC West? Or at least maybe get second place behind Georgia, and then Minnesota also is still undefeated. Now we've got our teams. It's highly unlikely that any of these teams will get there. They've all, I think, got one loss. Kansas State, that tough loss to Vanderbilt. Syracuse, Virginia, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Iowa State, Texas. And there you go again, another mistake. Texas Tech is not supposed to be on this list anymore because they're a sleeper team now. Indiana, Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue, Arizona, and Cal. So that's 3 mistakes that I made on this video. And again, I apologize for that. But these teams probably out of it, but you cannot, technically say that they're out of it just yet because, you could still, crazy things can happen. But these teams are the teams that we have eliminated, and they are for sure eliminated. And you can add Texas to this list because, again, I screwed up on them. And they've already got 2 losses, so you could add Texas to this list. Missouri with another loss, they're out. Ole Miss has been out from the beginning. Nebraska losing to Northern Illinois, they are out of it. Rutgers, 2 losses. Arizona State, 2 losses. Oregon State, 2 losses. Stanford, 2 losses. I did not expect to see Stanford on this list this early in the season. Boston College, 2 losses. North Carolina, 2 losses. Pittsburgh, 2 losses. Baylor, 3 losses. And then Kansas, I think just 2 losses for them. So these teams are definitely out of it. There's absolutely no way. There's no kind of craziness that's going to get them into the playoffs. And again, the teams that I had before on the highly unlikelies, I mean, it's like a 0.01% chance. It's not even a 1% chance on those teams. But if they ran the table, they win their conference, a team like Kansas State, maybe they could get in. Maybe there's, everybody else has 2 losses or something like that. That's the only way, but it's very unlikely that any of those teams get in. But these teams right here are the teams that are for sure eliminated. And again, you can add Texas to this list as they picked up their second loss of the season to USC. So those are the teams that are eliminated. And I think next week we're really going to start adding to this list as conference play begins for pretty much everybody. So you're going to see a lot of teams getting their second loss of the season. Not really any cupcake games. Not many anyways coming up this weekend. So that's it for this episode. Again, we'll have our college football playoff eliminator every Monday. So make sure you check back on Mondays. And we'll have all kinds of college football videos coming up this week here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel. So again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.